Howdy gamers, and I'm not too sure what game I want to play today, so to fix that I'm going to be drawing a game at random out of a hat. Okay, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Wait, hold on. The hat only had Assassin's Creed Black Flag. What the frick? It's all Assassin's Creed Black Flag! Assassin's Creed Black Flag, also known as the good one, is considered to be the good Assassin's Creed game. I'll be honest though, I'd never played an Assassin's Creed game before I made this review. Back when Assassin's Creed was big, my parents didn't let me play emulated games. I remember wanting to play Assassin's Creed, and one year at a county fair, I even won a Black Flag poster, and you better believe I hung it up in my room, but I never got to play it. As I got older, the tape that held the poster to the wall became less sticky, and in the same sense, my desire to play the Assassin's Creed games became less sticky. That sounded bad. I didn't have any interest in the series anymore, but now that I'm going through the top 100 games of all time in 26 honorable mentions, Black Flag ended up being the 25th honorable mention, so I finally got to play it. And before I start this review, just know that I haven't played any other Assassin's Creed games, so I'll just be judging this game based on its own merit. Anyways, for starters, this game has such an amazing story. I won't be going into it for spoiler reasons, but there is honestly some really good character development from the main character Edward, and there are just some amazing plot twists that make you want to keep doing the main story. And overall, the story is just engaging and really interesting. And best of all, there weren't any annoying characters in my opinion, which is a big plus. As far as video game stories go, this has to be one of my favorites. Except for one thing. Black Flag and all Assassin's Creed games for that matter are simulations, which sounds like it doesn't matter all that much, and for the most part it doesn't. But every once in a while, you'll be sucked out of the game and put into the real world for the worst part of the game. You just walk around where you're told to, listen to people talk, and occasionally play Hacker Frogger. Compared to the open world of the actual game, this is a huge departure from it, and I didn't like it. There is a little bit of an open world aspect to it where you can level up your security clearance and explore more and learn more about Abstergo and how this game connects to other games. I get that the point of it is to connect all the games together, but it would have been nice if these story segments were just completely optional. Because in the game, there's literally an option to back out to Abstergo, so maybe they could have done it where these story elements only happen if you back out. It's not even like the Abstergo segments affect the actual game, so it just didn't seem necessary and ends up taking you out of the main story. But apart from that, like I said, I really like the story of Black Flag, and it's one of my favorite video game stories. To be fair, like I said, I don't play heavily story-based video games, but still. Honestly, depending on who you are, the game might be worth it just for the story alone. But if you're like me and you don't play video games for the story, this game still has some amazing gameplay. Assassin's Creed has so many collectibles, and a nice variety of them too. They're all pretty different from each other, and it works decently well. The first big place you visit in the game, Havana, does a great job of introducing you to this game's collectibles, which is some good game design. In Havana, it doesn't force you to do the main story at all. To be honest, no places do, but here they make the main quest less urgent so you don't feel weird exploring all the side quests. And when I was playing the game, I don't even like 100%ing games, but I still had fun just getting the optional collectibles here. Literally, after I finished playing the game for this review, I still went back and got some collectibles I missed. I didn't 100% the game or anything, but like I said, these collectibles are kind of fun to get. In total, there are 7 different collectibles, being the chests, the song sheets, the Animus fragments, taverns, Templar keys, Mayan stones, and secrets. Chests are simple enough. You go up to them, press A to loot, and most of them give you money. But some can give you Animus fragments and letters in a bottle. You don't even have to look around a huge city to find chests. This game has it where you can see all the chest locations on a town map. You might think that will ruin the experience and take all the fun out of looking for a collectible, but honestly, it works really well here. Some of these cities are huge, and it just would be an absolute nightmare trying to find the chests without it. Also, the game doesn't just show you where the chests are right away, it does a great job of making you walk around the area first and get to know your surroundings. I don't want to get too off track here, but when you arrive at an island for the first time, the only thing on the town map that you can see are the viewpoints. These are basically the towers in Breath of the Wild where they light up the surrounding area on your map, but unlike Breath of the Wild, here it'll show you where all the collectibles are in that area. That makes it fun to arrive in a new area and scope out the surrounding. Also, just like Breath of the Wild, they make traveling around a big city like Havana easier because you can just fast travel to them. This is honestly really convenient to have, and if you don't want to use it, then don't. It's that simple. And instead of gliding down like in Breath of the Wild, you just do a leap of faith, which I really like. It looks good to do, but also serves a nice function of getting you down quickly. I am aware that this game did the towers before Breath of the Wild. I just figured it's a good comparison to make. Anyways, after synchronizing with the viewpoint, your surrounding area gets lit up on your map, and the best thing is you can mark whatever collectible you want to get, and it'll even have a distance counter to how close you are with the collectible, which really helps out. There's still one final thing about the chests that I haven't mentioned yet, and that's that some chests are out in the open and aren't too hard to get, but some of them are in what are known as restricted areas. These are areas that are guarded by either the British or Spanish Empire. If you're detected, you'll have to fight, but you can also sneak around undetected and do it that way. Speaking of fighting, there are the taverns. This is an interesting collectible. Basically, some places will have a tavern that bandits have taken over, and if you beat them up in a fistfight, you unlock the tavern. It's not much, but at taverns you can recruit pirates and also play some games. There are 3 different games, being Fanaora, Morris, and Checkers. The game even gives you a tutorial on how to play each of these games, and the cool thing is there are 3 different difficulties that change based on what location you're in. It's more than just playing them though, you can also bet money on the matches. I don't want to brag or anything, but I won a game of checkers on my first try, so you might say I'm pretty gamer. Other than chests and taverns though, there are also the Templar keys, which are a collectible that you get access to later in the game. To get the keys you have to do a side quest of some sort. Usually though it's following someone and then finding someone and then killing someone, usually in that order. If you collect all 5 of them you get access to some armor, but there is a bit more to the armor than just its looks, but I don't want to spoil that for anyone who hasn't unlocked it. The keys are a cool collectible, but what stinks is if you just want to go for the keys, you can't, because they don't show up on the Overworld map, only the town map. The next collectible is the song sheets. These, just like the chests and all collectibles for that matter, are on the map after visiting a viewpoint and can be marked to make things easier. These are usually on rooftops and places like that, and to get them, instead of walking up and pressing A, as soon as you get close to one of them, it will start to run away and you have to chase after it. It's a pretty cool idea for a collectible, and some of them are made more difficult by having guards on the rooftops. Honestly though, it is kinda disappointing because all you have to do is hold run in the direction of them. It would have been nice if maybe they were a bit harder to get. The cool thing about song sheets though is once you collect them, whenever you're standing in the game, your crewmates will sing the songs you've collected. I do have a minor nitpick though, because you can't choose what songs they sing. You can tell them to stop singing, start singing, and skip songs, but that's about it. It also doesn't seem very random, because I've only gone What Do You Do With the Drunken Sailor once, but I've gone some other songs way more. That's just a minor nitpick though, it really doesn't matter in the long run. The next collectible is secrets. These are just things like treasure maps and messages in a bottle and manuscripts. They aren't too exciting, you just go up and press A. The messages in a bottle weren't too interesting to me and were just conversations between 2 people. I didn't read them, but I could see it being cool if you're into that kind of stuff. The game even goes as far as numbering them, making it easier to tell the order to read them in. And the manuscripts are hidden inside restricted areas and have, well, manuscripts, and you can actually view them within the database. As far as the treasure maps go, it's pretty self-explanatory. Each treasure map has a picture on it that will help you find the treasure. What is nice though is that the game goes an extra step to say if the island you're on has a treasure that is linked to one of your treasure maps. The thing that stinks though is that the treasure itself isn't linked to island secrets or any collectibles for that matter. Basically, in Black Flag, whenever you get all the collectibles on an island, the image on the map turns golden. What stinks though is that treasure isn't linked towards any of the collectibles, meaning that you have to go to an island and just hope that it will tell you have a treasure map that links to that location. This is honestly really annoying and probably should have been fixed in a patch or something. Only 2 more collectibles left, with one of them being Mayan stones. This is probably the most unique one because instead of just collecting an item, you first have to solve a simple but fun enough puzzle where you have to match the circles with the highlighted items and then dig up the Mayan stone. Something I like is whatever weapon you have equipped will be what you use to dig up the Mayan stone, which is really nice detail. And if you get all the Mayan stones, you get some armor, which I know is what you got for collecting all the keys, but trust me, it's different enough to warrant getting both of the armor. The final collectible is the Animus fragments. These are probably the coolest ones in the game. Even though you can see where they are on the minimap, the fun of these is figuring out how to get them. They aren't stuck to the ground like chests, so instead you'll see them floating, and although some are easy to get, some are also hard. It's a lot of fun seeing how to get them. Although you're probably wondering what an animus fragment even is. Honestly, these are pretty useless collectibles. Instead of giving you money to buy stuff or songs, they give you nothing. Technically, if you collect enough of them, you'll get cheats, which are a fun addition to the game, but you need to collect a lot of animus fragments to even get the cheats. The cheats are a fun addition to the game though. They can do anything from making Edward drunk, making his vision all wacky, to making him talk like a pirate. There are also some more functional ones, but you get the idea. No matter what you use though, your progress doesn't save while using cheats, which is fair enough I guess. You don't unlock cheats from just animus fragments though. The animus fragments just go towards the Abstergo challenges. These are bonus objectives like climb for a total 500 meters or collect all 200 animus fragments. Then, when you do enough of the Abstergo challenges, you will get more cheats. For example, if you complete 60 challenges, you unlock the Poseidon's Will cheat. Honestly, I'm fine with the way you unlock these cheats, and if you want to know how to access them, they're in the options menu. But while we're here in the options menu, why don't I give you a tour, because there's a lot more than you would think. First, there are the usual suspects that are in every options menu, like options, inventory, the quit button, which in this game allows you to quit to the Animus Station, or just quit the game, and of course, the Ubisoft Club. Because, you know, it wouldn't be a video game without the Ubisoft Club. But there's also some cool stuff. Like I said, there are the Abstergo challenges and the cheats, and also the database, which I wasn't really all that interested in, but it's still really cool nonetheless. There's the e-manual and the statistics, which are pretty self-explanatory, but the cool part is the Animus database. The developers here really went above and beyond. Here you can view all your shanties you unlocked with lyrics, documents which have the letters from the letter in the bottles, and also manuscripts. There's also all the people you met, locations you visited, landmarks you saw, ships you fought, art you collected, and wild animal you met. They also have a description and a picture, but that's nothing compared to the crafting menu. Basically, throughout the game you'll come across wild animals that you can kill and then skin. When you skin an animal, you can get materials like ocelot pelt. Then, with these materials, you can craft upgrades like pistol holsters and health upgrades. All the different upgrades take different materials and is a really fun addition to the game, and adds a lot of playtime. Crafting is so simple, where all you do is go to the crafting menu and press A on what you want. When I first found out there was a crafting menu in this game, I wasn't too sure about it, because I thought it would feel really forced and just wouldn't fit in with the rest of the game. But I was completely wrong. It isn't forced at all, and honestly feels really natural, and is a great addition to the game. Something else that's cool is the Edward upgrades, where you can view all the different sword, pistol, and outfit sets. You can't buy them from the menu though, you have to go to shops to buy them, but it's still nice to have to keep track of what you need. Finally, I saved the best for last, the reason why everyone likes Black Flag, the Jackdaw upgrades. The Jackdaw is the ship you get in Black Flag, and it controls really well. It starts off fine, but a big part of the game is fighting other ships. Some ships are really tough to take down, like the Legendary ship, which is the hardest ship in the game. So naturally, if you want to take down bigger ships, you'll need to upgrade yours. That might seem confusing though, because well, can't you just avoid fighting ships? And for the most part you can, but some story missions have you using your ship to fight. Plus, you want to upgrade your ship so you can take down the better ships, because not only is it a lot of fun to fight other ships, like I said, the better the ship you take down, the better loot you get. You can get money, goods, or materials, all of which you can use to upgrade your ship. You can tell what materials a ship has before you attack it by using a spyglass, and it will give you a detailed overview of what level the ship is and what it has on board. The goods can be sold for more money, and for the most part you'll be using the money to buy more ship upgrades, but you can also use it to buy sword upgrades, gun upgrades, betting it on checkers and other games, and stuff like dancers and pirates, which can help with some missions. But like I said, for the most part you'll be using your money to buy Jackdaw upgrades. There are a lot of different upgrades you can do to the Jackdaw, some being cosmetic and other being practical. They can be better armor for your ship, better cannons, or storage upgrades. Also, different upgrades take different materials, which means you'll be tracking down ships that carry the materials you need. All upgrades also take money, but as long as you're taking down a lot of ships, you'll never need to grind for it. Ship combat, like I said, is a lot of fun, and it's more than just shooting at a ship until it sinks. I mean, you can do that, but you won't get as much loot if you do. If you want to get the most loot possible, you'll need to get the other ship to a low health, and then you can board it. From there you invade the other ship, and you'll have to kill a certain amount of crew members. Sometimes, depending on what level the ship is, You also might have to kill the captain, shoot explosive barrels, or destroy the flag. It's a lot of fun and gets pretty hectic sometimes, and if you're not careful, your crewmates can even die. But once you take over their ship, you'll get your resources and some new crewmates, but you also have 3 options to either repair your ship, lower your wanted level, or send it to Kenway's fleet. Repairing your ship is pretty self-explanatory, it just repairs the ship. Lowering your wanted level lowers your wanted level, which is good because the more ships you destroy, the higher your wanted level goes up. Eventually, hunters, which are a type of ship, will start chasing after you, which just gets annoying, so it's nice to keep a low profile. And the final option, sending it to Kenway's fleet, I'll be honest, I put in 40 hours into this game, and I don't understand what this does. Apparently though, according to James Miller, who you should not subscribe to because he's a dumb nerd poop brain, you can use them to accomplish missions in faraway lands, and you can get money, cosmetic upgrades, and buried chest map. Which I don't know if I just missed the part of the game where they explained how that worked, but either way, he said it's kind of fun, so I guess I missed out on that. Anyways, long story short, the ship aspect of Black Flag is so much fun, and upgrading your ship and making it stronger is one of the best parts of Black Flag. I say one of though, because I still haven't spoken about sneaking around. This isn't a game where you're an assassin after all. Well, kind of an assassin, but that doesn't matter. Basically, some missions in the game will have you sneaking into restricted areas, and the fun of it comes from the fact that this game has really good stealth mechanics. For starters, hiding in bushes and stuff like that makes you invisible to enemies, and from there, you can whistle to get their attention and assassinate them. This feels really cool to do, and it's not the only way you can assassinate. You can also jump from high places, come out of haystacks, and come out of hiding spots. Some missions in the game will end if you get detected, but most won't because this is an open world game. You can do whatever you want, which means you can just go in and fight everyone off. The game does discourage this though and has set goals for you to do, and most of the time they involve not getting detected, especially in the assassin contracts. These are side quests that you find in major cities, and you'll be given the name of someone to assassinate. They're always in restricted areas, and if you're able to assassinate them without being seen by anyone, you'll get extra money. In the main story missions, there's stuff like that, but in addition to not being seen, it can also be stuff like kill someone a certain way or kill 8 guards. It's fun to have an optional objective to work towards, but the missions themselves aren't always the best. Some of them are a lot of fun, but others are the 20th following someone mission. It would be nice to see a bit more variety in missions. It's not too bad though, and I still had fun playing through the game's missions. And like I said, the story itself is really good, so that's enough motivation to keep playing. Another great motivation to keep playing though were the glitches. I don't know if it's worse on other versions, but I played on the Switch version, and although there were no game-breaking glitches, there were definitely a lot of minor ones. I'm sorry for the low quality of these, because this is just what happens when you screen capture on the Switch. But there were so many glitches that got to the point when I just had to stop screen recording them. Once again though, it was never game breaking and I enjoyed the glitches to be honest. Another thing I enjoyed a lot was that this game does a great job of teaching you mechanics. Other than Kenway's fleet, I never didn't know how to do something because this game does a great job of teaching you things. For example, for the first part of the game, you're on a ship and the captain dies, meaning you have to take over steering, and this is something you're going to be doing a lot in the game. And whenever the game wants to teach you something new, you get these screens which do a great job at explaining how it works without taking too much of your time, which I really appreciate. Finally, the last thing I want to say is that the music in this game is so freaking good. From the she shanties that your crew sings to the fully orchestrated soundtrack, not only does it fit the game's theme, it also sounds so good. I highly recommend you give the soundtrack a listen if you've never heard it. The main theme of this game is one of the best video game songs ever. Black Flag is an amazing game, but to answer the question, is it the best pirate game? I'm gonna have to say no. I mean, Windwaker exists, so it's kind of hard for any game to top that. But to give this game an award, I would give it the second best pirate game award. Because like I said, it's a really good game, but Windwaker exists. And to give this game a score out of 100, I would give it a 94 out of 100. The story and gameplay are amazing. The stealth and ship segments are just so much fun. But at the same time, the repetitive missions and side quests really lower this game's score. It's just not fun after a while. But I still highly recommend this game. Like I said, the stealth and ship segments are so much fun. And the story is so good. And the game's on sale right now on Steam for only $6. So I highly recommend you get it. And Hello?
Eric, it's me from the future. You have to get rid of your copies of Black Flag immediately.
Wait, why?
You fool! Black Flag violates Article 21 of the Third Geneva Convention.
Oh god.